why this unique program eliminates Candida. This unique healing program eliminates Candida in a way that crutches, diets, vitamins, drugs, acupuncture, chiropractic, massage, etc. cannot and do not do. I have done a lot of videos, and I've done them on a lot of conditions that I personally struggled with and overcame by following the principles of this program that I developed. But I don't talk about those in those videos. You'll find a little information in my books about those. But I am going to first talk a little bit about my personal experience with Candida, because for me, when I was deathly ill 30 years ago, Candida was a diagnosis that I got, and it really ruled my life for a while. It really controlled what I did. It was constantly there in my head. I read everything I could about Candida. I tried to fight this Candida for years. I waged a battle with it for years and failed because I followed one of these programs, the exact same programs that you all read about today that simply treat the symptoms of Candida and not the cause. And when you do that, you just fail. You eventually fail. 30 years ago, and by the way, if you don't know what Candida is and you're watching this, generally it's really a yeast overgrowth in the body, but there are every symptom and condition from A to Z, including weight problems, are attributed to Candida, according to these authors of these books. So, but one of the classic telltale signs of Candida is like a white-coated tongue. I had one so bad. I had literally spores coming out of my mouth when I talked that. At the time I went to a homeopath who honestly thought I was dying of AIDS. It was that bad. So I come from a absolutely horrible case of Candida. In fact, in the 23 years that I've done this program and worked with tons of sick people, I've never had a client with Candida as bad as I had it. And I'm completely over it, and I do not have to follow a special diet, take supplements, drugs, etc., etc. Okay? But at the time, I followed one of these low-carb diets. I took nystatin, caprylic acid, probiotics, did really, avoided mushrooms, all the things that people say feed this Candida. Again, it didn't work. In fact, shortly after doing the program and realizing that it was a very dangerous, unhealthy program to follow, I was working for a chiropractor, and I ran into the author of one of these best-selling Candida books, and he was 60 pounds overweight. Let me say, and I got mad at him and I talked to him, and but that's another story. But the point is that when you are healthy and you don't have Candida, you will not be 60 pounds overweight. You will save a lot of precious years of health or ill health, a lot of precious time and money if you are careful about who you take advice from. If you can believe, and I hope you get, that a healthy person does not have to follow a strict diet or take supplements, avoid wheat or carbs or any of that other stuff to look and feel great, then you will save yourself a lot of time and money. When you take advice from other people, if you choose to do that, ask those questions. Find out how healthy that author or practitioner really is, and ask them. Ask them if they have to eat certain foods or take vitamins to look and feel good. And if they have to, they don't have the answer to health that you want and that you deserve to have. Back to Candida. I do not use the word Candida. I'm using it here because you all will hear about it, or many of you have heard about it. But I use the word uneliminated acids because it really is the exact same thing. Okay, when you have a big pile of trash in your front yard, that attracts flies. In this analogy, the flies are the Candida. When you have uneliminated acids in your bowel, those attract the Candida. Other programs fight off the Candida. They kill off the flies, but that does nothing to get rid of the trash that was feeding it. And you might kill off those flies, but shortly thereafter, there's some flies from the neighborhood that's going to come and find that pile of trash. So the Candida will come back and does come back with those programs. Or those programs, again, are low-carb diets, which hopefully by now you understand. And if not, maybe this is your first video. Watch my videos, read my books, Unique Healing and Unique Healing 2, because it's absolutely a necessity that you understand that the reason these low-carb diets work in the short term, fail in the long term, and are causing lots of death and damage to you is because those high-protein diets take those acids in the bowel, feeding the Candida, and shove them back in your organs. When they're in the organs, they might not feed the Candida, but they cause death and disease and lots of problems. Plus, They're in your organs where any day when you stop following that horrible diet, they're going to come flying back out in your bowel, and all those candida symptoms are going to come back with a vengeance. This program eliminates the acids from your organs and from your bowel. They eliminate them from your bowel. If you can keep your bowels well formed during this program, which you should be able to if you follow the advice in both of my books, you won't have candida symptoms. If you follow this program long enough, you will get all those acids out of the organs so that they're not there to dump in your bowel and feed the candida either. Candida is often, so body bentonite is not only a way to eliminate the ultimate cause of candida, but in the short term it's a crutch to immediately reduce the candida or eliminate it and eliminate the symptoms. Why healing your bowel bacterial environment, as this program does, eliminates candida is because when the gut bacterial environment is healthy, it kills off fungal infections. Candida is often wrongly mistaken for fungal bacterial infections, or I see many clients with fungal bacterial infections who are diagnosed with candida when really that's not correct, that they just have a fungal bacterial infection. So really your healthy bowel is not ultimately, intimately, directly connected to the candida, but I'm mentioning it here because if you have a fungal bacterial infection, you're likely to be diagnosed with candida and think you have it. Colloidal silver is the crutch I use to treat those fungal bacterial infections while we're aggressively healing the bowel. So do make sure that you know how to do that. And again, you can find all that information in my 2 books. There are many misunderstandings about candida. I'm not going to cover them all, but I will state again, I want you to, as much as possible, try to replace that candida word with uneliminated acids. You will be put on the right road if you look at it from that correct standpoint. It's when I got off the candida road and on the uneliminated acid road that I eventually completely eliminated my candida permanently, and you will too. Lots of these candida people use the word leaky gut. Again, I don't like that word. I'm intimately aware of it. I've been aware of leaky gut for over 30 years. Again, I'd like you to replace that with uneliminated acids. When you go into the gut with the bentonite and soak up the acids that are there, they will not leak back through your gut into your blood, causing symptoms. So when you do this program, this leaking through of the gut will stop happening. Caprylic acid and nystatin are used often to treat candida. Again, getting rid of the candida isn't really the problem. What the problem is the acidity. So it doesn't really do you a whole lot of good to just kill off the flies. It's really the trash that's making a mess and stinking up your front yard. It's the acids that are causing your symptoms. So I don't find much value in those 2 products, to be honest with you. In fact, nystatin is incredibly toxic. I took it when I was sick. I felt like I had poison flowing all through my veins. It was probably the worst experience of my entire illness was when I used nystatin. And I had many beyond horribly horrific days when I was sick. Again, you eliminate candida with this program. So to understand that better, please visit my website at www.uniquehealing.com. And again, check out both my books, and I hope that helped.